Well, I wonder if this thing is working. I'm hoping we have a microphone. Looks like the little green light is working. Got a few people in here and whatnot. So we'll get moving. Damn, God needs some muffler work. Tonight's live chat brought to you by Magpul, makers of the ARESK. It is a ambidextrous safety for an AR. I saw these at SHOT and thought they looked pretty cool. And today there was a package on my porch with two of them just on the porch from some random fulfillment center in Idaho. Magpul's not in Idaho. I only know in Idaho, like Occam. I'm sure Brian didn't send me those. I don't know why they're here. So either way, they became today's sponsor because some stuff showed up. Javier, hello, sir. Colt, hello. RJ, funny guy. The little kid. So, yep, it's growing back already. It's coming. Probably more gray than it used to be. That comes from marriage, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. I had like one little spot of gray right here in my multicam beard. I had like the black, the brown, the red, the blonde, and a little spotch of gray. And then I got married and it just turned white. Stephen, Mike, hello, sir. Adam, hello, hello. I guess I don't need to mute my phone since Mike is in the live chat. He won't be texting me, I guess, theory. Scott Wexler, hello. Turtle, hello. So, yeah, anyhow, these ESKs showed up. This one's still in the box. And this one is empty because I installed it on that rifle back there. Pretty easy to do. I had to take the grip off anyhow because it needed sugar cookied, which it's now sugar cookied. You can't really tell because it's out of focus back there. So I took the grip off, masked it up, sugar cookied it, even did something new on the sugar cookie. It might help it stay on, but it also cut down all the glittery part to make it like the party grip. I dusted it with some olive drab Krylon while it was still all masked up. So the gritty part, I didn't go real heavy like I did on my AK. Just a little dusting. We'll see how that goes. But anyhow, while I had the grip off, it made it easy to change the safety. The ESK install is pretty simple. It has a real good snick to it. Like more, I don't know. The word I was using was snick. And I guess I just made that up and it's very fitting. But anyhow, it has more snick than the LMT safety that was in it. And the LMT safety had more snick than any of the other safeties I have used. I did not put the 60-degree variant on, like it works both ways, 60 and 90. I just kept it to 90. Yes, the funny face. And making me hungry with the sugar cookie talk. I promise this sugar cookie would not make you hungry. Paradise Down Films. Well, hello, sir, to you as well. And I probably should know who that username is because you used the right passphrase to get into the secret club. Crystal, hello, dear. Andrew Moss, you've missed nothing other than a little talk about the Magpul safety. So anyhow, it's on that gun now, and we'll see how it goes. Yes, Scott, it seemed like it would be fun. However, didn't they have another one? Or was this the last one? I knew they had 2 left this year. Aiden, hello, sir. You will be getting an email from me tomorrow, by the way, with the answer to the questions that you asked. So run them right now. I guess we'll let you know. The alumni patches are in. No, I don't have a picture of them handy, nor do I even have one on this computer that I could show you guys. But the alumni patches, I have them. And if you have left a Google review, you need to shoot me an email, preferably with a link to the Google review. There's enough of them, it's starting to get more difficult to locate them. And the address you'd like the patch mailed to. Because I do have students who have left reviews many years ago on Google that no longer have the same address. And so I don't want to, if you've bought something from the web store and recently in the last year or so, probably got the right address, maybe not, don't know. But you need to let me know that you have. Oh, Dustin. Interesting. Interesting. I'll have to ask you about that later. Seems like we may have already had that conversation. But yes, if you left a Google review, I'll send you a patch. The stickers are not in yet. I believe one of the stickers was printed on the 12th, like the black and white ones, and the black and foil ones will print on the 17th, which is like 2 days from now. So after they print, they'll mail them to me, and people who left website reviews and or Facebook reviews will get stickers. Yes, I know I'll have to mail twice, but it's a 40-some cent stamp or whatever. In the future, in a week from now, I can just put them all in one whenever anybody needs to get one. Now, here's something else we're doing. Specifically with the patches, and maybe we'll do something with the stickers, I don't know. But with the patches, when you get them, a pile of them went out today. I put them in the mail yesterday, but they didn't get picked up till today. When you get the patch, if you put it on your gear and you take a picture of the gear, and then you put the picture on the interwebs, use the hashtag TremDyneAlumni. I'll even type that out for you. TremDyneAlumni. I probably fucking misspelled it. There we go. It's good. Put that hashtag in with the picture. At the end of the year, I am going to do an internet search for the hashtag, and somebody is going to get a gift certificate to Tremis Dynamics that can be used for gear or classes. And normally, like when we do prizes and stuff, there's a discount off classes or a free class or something like that, but usually not on stuff. We're just going to give a straight up gift certificate to somebody who has used the hashtag. And the more hashtags, the bigger the gift certificate. Nope, I totally made it up as I was typing, so I did not have a plan. So I can't tell you, like, for every hashtag, it's $1. I don't know. I didn't think it through yet. But we'll make it bigger the more people put the pictures of the patch with the hashtag up. So that's it. It's like me making you market for me by dangling out free stuff. Hope you don't mind. Mike, thanks for typing that up for me. All right. So what else we got going on? Look at my notes here. You need more cool stuff to put patches on. Well, I would recommend the 3 people I would normally recommend. YMI Tactical has cut down on the cool gear that he's making. UW Gear is not currently accepting orders, so that leaves Combat Art Training. If you buy, he sells things with Velcro on it. Crystal's got it. Puppet master hand gestures. At least they tell you all up front. You're like, you tricked me. No, I told you I was going to trick you. That happens a lot. Those that are in class know. Like it's a common theme. But yeah, if you want to buy stuff, reach out to Andrew at Combat Art Training. Buy something with Velcro on it and then slap the patch on it. I have a battery book from him. I'm not even sure he calls it a battery book, but it's a zippered pouch, 3-sided, opens up like a book. It's got loop Velcro all over the inside of it. And he recommended putting batteries in it. So I have done so. Excuse me. A bunch of different batteries, CR2s, CR123s, 2032s, 1632s, AA's, AAA's, 123s, 18650s, 18350s, a charger for those rechargeable batteries, and I put hook Velcro on the back of all the little like battery clip case things so that when I zip it up, I open it up, it's just full of batteries and chargers. I'm going to do a little review on it in a minute. I ordered it's got Velcro on the outside. I ordered a pretty cool name tapes for the outside from Patch Panel. They come from Canada, so when they mail them, it takes like an extra fucking forever to get here. I think last I saw, they had made it to Chicago. Sometimes things never leave Chicago when they come through DHL. We'll see. But it's pretty cool looking, and you all get to see it. Oh, I even have some 1/3 N batteries for like aim points and TLR6s and some like Steiner Tor minis. Anyhow, it's almost complete, and then I'll do an actual review of it. Consensual. I like the way that you put that. It sounds dirty. All right. So let's see. Love my patches. Yep. Got that. We added some new stuff. I think I mentioned it maybe on last week's live chat. I don't know. I had Jay on, so we talked about other shit, and Mike was there too. No offense to Mike. Mike's almost like a irregular co-host. Jay was a guest. But we added navigation classes. So we had done one before. We called it the navigation primer, which the naming system didn't fit the class we ran. Generally speaking, if it says primer, it's a seminar. And while we had a seminar, we also went out in the woods, and it was 2 days. So it didn't really jive with the primer. So I changed the name of that to Navigation Dynamics. It's a 2-day class. We also took the dog tag out of it. We'll explain. So we got one of those in the beginning of June. I think it's the 1st and 2nd. Don't quote me that here in Bloomsburg. And day 1 is the primer, which is a seminar. So you can sign up for the primer and not go out in the woods, or you can sign up for Navigation Dynamics and do the classroom and go out in the woods. And then in August, a couple weeks later, we have day 3 navigation, which we have taken the GPS class and smashed it into the 3 days of the regular nav class instead of a specific GPS class. We were going to cover all the same stuff. And then we moved the dog tag into day 3, where you'll use map, compass, and a GPS. Not at the same time, obviously. And then you will get your dog tag on the final. Now, here's the tricky part. Or not the tricky part, the cool part, I guess. There will be daytime navigation in day 3 and nighttime navigation in day 3. I'll let you guess where you find the dog tag. So that's happening. Those are on the website already. You can sign up for them now. If you come to the 2-day class, we give you a complete set of map tools. All the different protractors that we use, and some reference cards, and pace beads, little branded pencil, I want to say it's like a 50-page book, like a manual, and then a pile of handouts. anyhow, if you sign up for the primer, we have a bunch of loaner stuff to use in the seminar. But if you'd like to buy a kit, you can add it on. And we're going to start selling the kit on the website for those that aren't coming to the classes, because it's the kit with the tools we think that you need. ITS used to sell something similar, which had a lot of the same things in it. There's some overlap there, but we added the other things that we use a lot that they didn't. However, I have my kit right here, and it's the same one. Actually, I have 3 of these stashed around different spots. So like all the tools, the protractors and whatnot are here. And the thing is, this is a magnifier. Whoa, look how big my eyes are. And it fits in with the rest of the pocket tools. The company that makes those went out of business. And the company I buy them from is out of the little ones. They have a few big ones left. They're 5" by 5" instead of like a 2x2. They still have a hole punched in them. So I had them substitute some of those. And if you want it to be like a small kit, you can cut the big one down to the little ones. But they don't make the big ones anymore either. So when my supplier runs out of them, we'll no longer be offering them. So I'm going to tell you straight up now, you might want to buy the kit when it becomes available, because you can get the magnifier and later you won't. So it'll be like that kit and one of these cool pencils that says Tremis Dynamics, and then stuff to build your own set of paste beads. And we don't do shitty paste beads. All the beads look like little skulls. So that's cool. But it's those plus all the papers, all the handouts and the manual. Then we're going to sell it for $30. Jason Hedrick, hello, sir. So yeah, but the kit does come with the 2-day class. If you've taken the class with us before and you already have the kit and you don't want to, like if you want a discount on the class to take it again so that you don't want to pay for the additional cost of the kit, we'll knock like $20 off or something. I don't know. So if you've already taken the class that we did in 2021 and you want to sign back up again, just let me know and we'll drop off the cost of them, of the gear that we're giving out. Also, people are going to ask, well, if you got to have a GPS and you got to have a compass, you got loaners. We have loaner compasses for everyone. They're not the highest end compass in the world, but we do have loaners. We have a couple loaner GPSs. However, you don't need the GPS until day 3, which is in August. So you have some time to buy one. And if you go look at the gear list, when it says a GPS, there's actually a clickable link to the GPS that we recommend in our Amazon shop. Same with the compass. The compass is a Suunto MC2, and you don't need the global one unless you're going to go all around the globe. Otherwise, the North American one is fine. And the GPS is the Garmin eTrex 22. There are some cooler, higher end GPSs with touch screens and big giant, looks like an iPad. No, I'm not saying we're not against recommending those, but we were looking for the nicest budget friendly one, which is the eTrex 22. Actually, we have some people that come to our study groups that have the eTrex 21. The eTrex 22, I think the new one's the eTrex 22 with a letter on it, maybe an X. And like I'm still running the eTrex 20. It's the 20 family. So any of those are still good. But the ones we recommend are on the gear list. You have plenty of time to get into them. Oh, awesome. Academy's got some Garmin's on sale for under 100. The thing I'm going to warn is don't get the eTrex 10. It does not have the ability to download maps into it. So it is just a screen with where you started, where you're going, can get you to where you want, but it doesn't have a topographical map built into it, and nor can it download them. So there's less info on that. Same with the Fortrexes. Some of the Fortrex, which are like the wrist mountable ones, I just don't remember all the details of those different models of the Fortrex. And then they got the fucking big awesome ones that do satellite imagery and shit like that. They just cost more, and I figure by the time you're into that, you won't need me to tell you what you're looking for in features. But anywho, those are those things. I think that was the only thing we added to the website class-wise since the last time we talked. The eTrex Vista. Wow, I haven't seen the Vista. I actually have an old Bushnell GPS that you could download satellite photos over top of the topos. I think they were the first one to do that. It was like a service you had to sign up for, and then you paid like $2 for every satellite photo, which made it not the coolest thing in the world. But definitely, also the receivers are much more precise now. So newer ones are more precise, like how accurate they are. Although having an older one that may not have all the things you want for it, if at least you can still put in coordinates. Having that as a backup in like a bailout bag or something like that gives you a second one. All right, I'm going through my notes here, make sure I didn't miss anything. We got 3 classes left for this year. No live fire, that's all done and over with. And we got Fish 1 and 2 in Paducah, Texas. Paducah, Kentucky, Paducah, Texas. And that's in a active courthouse. We are using 2 floors that are inactive, but we have 2 floors of a courthouse to use. And we have some open slots, but we have the entire police department and the entire sheriff's department, not including reserve officers from either, in class as students. So if you want to shoot up the police and get away with it, this class is your opportunity. You want county level or city level or town, I guess it would be, because I doubt Paducah counts as a city. We're going to have them, and you're going to get a chance to shoot them. So if that's what you're looking for, we got you covered. And then we are doing a fish workshop here at Roll Call up in Scranton on the 9th of December. That's the following weekend. I guess I better quickly drive home. I not, linger around too many places. And that's it for 2023. Like, that'll be the end of it. A lot of Blackbeards getting used. Colt says he's going to be the only civilian. Well, see, there's the thing. All them police, though, they are also civilians. And I have at least one other normal, regular, average citizen dude coming along as well. He is a government employee, but he doesn't work for he works for the DOD, but he ain't in the military. I'm reading my notes, making sure it's just got a list of stuff. I have the questions on a different page because I was dilly-dallying and didn't get them all moved over to my notes. We do have some fair amount of questions, so we'll hit those as well. Come January, we got no classes on the schedule. It's fucking cold, and nobody wants to come out in the snow. I mean, I don't mind going out in the snow. Before you got to train like you fight, and if you're fighting might happen in the snow. You got to train that way. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but somebody needs to tell the students that you should come pay for it. February, we got shit happening. Carbine class, 3 days of carbine in Florida, back in Leesburg at Aries Training Center. And I have a pile of special guests coming, like more than last time. And the last time I was in Florida, there was a slew of awesome people in there. So take it easy, Josh. You could come to that. That would be cool. If you're in the Florida neck of the woods. I've probably had 20 different people say, man, we should come to Florida. I went to Florida and like 2 of them showed up of the people that had asked. I've had more people since then go, man, I didn't know you were in Florida. I don't know how else to tell them. I did emails, all the socials. They want to add the local paper or something. And of the people that asked the first time and the ones that added that told me they didn't realize I was there, ain't none of them fucking signed up either. So, but some people have signed up. They just aren't the ones that were like kind of begging about it before. Turtle will be there. Yes, he will. He has already signed up. And Turtle, remind me. I know this isn't a good time to remind me, but I figured out what your issue was with the coupon code. I will be in touch with you and we will figure it out how we want to go forward with it. What was I going to say about that? Oh, because I had a sale, Veterans Day sale, like 11% off everything. And veterans could buy a class, get a class for free. Pretty fucking big ass sale. Never done buy one, get one free before. For regular percentage sales, we're doing one. We're going to do a Black Friday one. I'm not sure what date we're going to start it, but it's a good one too. So just hang tight. It's on its way. What? Do I got a calendar handy? It's obviously meant for like the Black Friday weekend. Calendar. Oh shit. Oh, fuck, Thanksgiving's like a week from tomorrow. I didn't even realize, man. Where is November gone? All right, so I got to start it sometime between now and Black Friday. I don't know. I'll take requests, and then maybe we'll do a poll, and then that'll pick the date that the sale starts. It'd be really cool if I could do some sort of different type of sale every day, like Black Friday's a day, and Blacker Saturday's a different sale, and then Blackest Sunday, Bloody Sunday, Sunday Bloody Sunday could be a different sale, and then Cyber Monday's a different sale. I don't know how to make the website do that without just going in and changing them every day, and I'm not going to do that. So we'll just start a sale sometime between now and Black Friday, and you all can save some money. How much money? Some. Maybe I'll open it up for patrons first. Instead of just like it's automatically on the site, maybe a code they can put in to use up until that sale starts. Oh, that's my tomorrow morning thing to do, goal, task. All right. Now let's see what we got for questions. I should probably refresh. I don't mean like go take a bath. I did that once already this week. There's no need for another one. I meant refresh the page so that we could see what questions there are. Okay. All right, here we go. And you can feel free to throw any questions right here in the chat, and I'll get to them as I get to them. I'm also still accepting requests for when we're going to start the sale. Oh, Monsieur Becca is here. And you should buy all of your ammo at Ammo Supply Warehouse. If you spend more than $100, you can get $10 off using the coupon code TREMIS. I think it's TREMIS. I don't have it in front of me, so maybe he can answer. All right, here are the questions. Arming another with a backup gun. Would you give them your tiny baby gun and use your primary, or hand them the bigger pistol since you are better trained and take the smaller gun for yourself? Oh, it's TREMIS 10. There you go, TREMIS 10. I guess that means that it's because it's 10%. So the question, if I had a backup gun, would I give them the backup gun and keep the big gun, or vice versa? Because as someone better trained, it would be easier for me to use the backup gun. Yeah, I'm going to give them the backup gun, and that's what you get for not carrying one. Like, even if it's like an LCP, that's what they're going to get. And they should have brought their own. Even if it was, like, let's say it's a minor, like my son, and he says, Dad, can you carry a second gun? Because, you know, it's dangerous where we're going, and if shit goes down, I want you to hand me that backup gun. I'm not bringing him an LCP. He's going to get a 365 XXL or macro, and I'll just carry two larger guns. The next question, I'm going to roll two questions into one here. Preferred barrel length for a 5.56 SBR, and why that size over other options. And I also got the question, are 13.7 inch ARs a good option? So both of them would be an SBR. If I was going to run it as an SBR, I wouldn't go 13.7. Strictly because by the time you put any sort of muzzle device on it, it's going to be close to being a 16-inch gun. And then you'd want to pin and weld it unless you were going as SBR. And if you're going as SBR, it ain't really that much shorter than a regular gun. So you're getting the disadvantage of an SBR with the lower velocity, with the disadvantages of a longer gun in that it's longer. So I probably wouldn't do it as an SBR. If I were going to pin and weld, maybe, but I would probably just buy a 16-inch gun, put a 3-prong or 3 or 4-prong flash hider on it and call it good, and not worry about pin and weld and stuff. So if we're keeping it an SBR, it's because I want it short. And then we come into two questions. Am I going to suppress it or not? If I'm going to suppress it, I'm going to run a 10.3 or a 10.5 and put a can on it, and like a 6-inch can, not a fucking 93-inch and not a K can. I guess with my level of hearing loss, a K can still hurts, and a regular like 5.5, 6-inch can does not. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is to be able to shoot it without ear pro. And so if I'm going to suppress it, I'm doing the 10. And if I'm not going to suppress it, I'll probably do an 11.5 and put a flash hider on the end. And the reason I would say 11.5 is you get a considerable more amount of dwell time, which it increases the likelihood of being reliable, that the gun will function well. There's very particular gas port sizes that you should have. I don't have the details handy for what they should be on a 10.5 or an 11.5. I do have a chart I got from the Sons of Liberty Gunworks Armorers course. I just don't have it in front of me. So if you're going to run a 10.5 and not suppress it, you need to be spot on. And I would not use the SOCOM, like the Mark 18 gas port. It is smaller than the Suns gas port size, which I'm pretty sure is 0.73. I think the Mark 18 is 0.70. Increasing the hole is mimics increasing the dwell time. If you put a can on it, you get an ass load of dwell time, so then it's less important. I can't remember what the 11.5 is, but I would be specific. I wouldn't buy the barrel until I knew what the gas port size was. If the manufacturer doesn't list it, I would call them. I do not recommend buying any old barrel and then altering the ass end of the rifle to make the barrel work. That's a Band-Aid fix. Like, oh, my knees hurt, and instead of getting them healed, I'll just take painkillers. That's kind of the idea behind that. The ass end of the gun should have an H2 buffer in it, whether it be an A5 H2 if you have an A5 system, or it's an H2 if you have a carbine system. And the front end needs to have the right equipment mounted so that the ass end works. Zach, hello, sir. Stephen, I assume Ballistic Advantage is good to go as well. I have a house full of Ballistic Advantage barrels. In fact, of all the rifles in the house, there's an AK-74 right over there behind the camera that isn't a BA barrel, obviously. And I have a Roscoe barrel that is for a different SBR project. And the gas port size on it is perfect, by the way. It is an 073. I measured it. I even wrote it in paint pen on the barrel, like where the gas block will go. Unfortunately, when you're SBRing things, some projects take some time because you got to wait on the government stamp to give you the approvals, or at least, you can say so on the internet. So that barrel, while I got it a couple months ago, it's still waiting to progress further in the project that it is destined for. Once you increase the hole size, the dwell time was longer. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. He is all right, that Monsieur Becker. I did just recently finish a project. That one was the thumbnail for tonight's live chat. I named her Celine because she will hunt in the dark and she's sexy. She's much closer to finish than the last pictures I put up. I finally got the grip done. The sling's sitting in my office downstairs, so it goes on there. I was contemplating an LPVO on the top. Totally not going to happen. I am fucking sold on the 1X Prism sights. I don't know anyone that makes a better one than the second generation SLX from Primary Arms, which is super affordable, like $250 or something like that. If you follow the Primary Arms link on the Tremis Dynamics website, I'll get a little kickback from that. But like, I don't even know what a higher end one would have. It's got sealed turrets, so you don't have to have turret caps, super low profile that way. It's shake awake, which etched reticles don't often have great battery life. So or not shake awake, auto live, I guess. It's built right in. It uses mini ACOG mounts, so there's lots of mounts available. Comes with 4 or 5 spacers, so you can get the right height that you want. I'll put a Midwest Industries mount on it here at some point. The brightest setting, like number 14 or whatever the fuck it is, it's as bright as my Aimpoint Pro would get in the daylight. Not quite as bright as the EOTech. And let's see what else is there. Oh, it's got an ACSS reticle, which is fantabulous. So I doubt I'm going to put an LPVO on it because it's pretty badass the way it is. Yes, the 1X Prism is etched, Stephen. It's got a horseshoe, like a 3/4 horseshoe with a tiny little chevron in the middle. And then below it are some ranging lines. When you illuminate it, the horseshoe and the chevron are illuminated. The ranging lines are not. They're not aiming lines. They're ranging lines, I believe. I haven't really read the instructions on it yet. I'm a big fan of the circle and the chevron. Like, that's good for me. So I haven't looked to see if the ranging lines, I know how the ranging lines work in an ACSS normally for width and height, but on a 6-foot man, 18-inch wide shoulders. But I didn't look to see like what the distance, if it even says it in the manual for, and it probably wouldn't give it for a 10-inch gun anyway, which is a lower velocity. But anyhow, point being, the main aiming points are illuminated. The ranging parts are not. The only other thing I have to do to it, well, there's like a couple things. Like, so I have the Goober sling downstairs, and I had John at UW Gear modify it so that it could have an integrated sling duber. At some point, there'll be a signature Tremis Dynamics sling, or a Tremis signature sling, that will replace the Goober sling. Essentially to be a lot like the Goobers, but will have the modifications already built in. And then I have a grip stop on this one, which I love grip stops. They're great. I've sanded it to shape it more the way I want. My other SBR has a irregular defense hand stop on it of some type. I don't remember what it's called, like modular hand stop. And it has other features I like, but it too needed to be modified. I had to fill part of it with epoxy and then sand it down too. And basically, I just want to take both of those and smash them together into one thing to make a hand stop that I like. And if I have to find a way to manufacture it myself, it'll be called the hand job. If I could license it to a different company to manufacture, they probably don't want that name. So I was thinking Trem Stop would be good. But the prototype has been 3D printed. From there, we'll go with whatever we can do to change it, to make it so it's producible. So those two things would change, and it still needs a laser aiming module of some type. There are some laser aiming modules in frame right now that you might zoom in and be able to see. Those are in the we'll call it the test phase. Although there's another one I can't really talk about that I'd rather have. And it's just not out yet. So, uh-oh. What did we do? Why did it do that? Are we still live? I think so. Like all my screens turned off. The camera didn't. The lights didn't. So it wasn't like a power thing. All right. I guess everything's still functioning. All right. There we go. So Colt asked if I'm bringing the sight to Paducah. I am indeed. It'll be on that rifle right there. And you can certainly check it out. It's like, this is how stupid I am. Like, you can make fun of me for this. So I have 2 of those in this house. And one on my son's rifle and one on my wife's rifle. Hers has a green reticle. His has a red reticle. His is a tan body. Hers is a black body. So I switched the spacers so it was like black and tan, and it looks cool, whatever. And I had zeroed them and was like, man, these are pretty nice. But I know etched reticles have an issue with battery life. So they don't shoot as much as me. They don't keep a gun beside their bed with the optic on. So I was like, well, it's a shame they're not shake awake. And then I've had them for a while. Then at SHOT, I see the Auto Live battery cap, and it replaces the battery cap on their LPVOs, and it makes them shake awake, aka Auto Live. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I made a video, and it was in the video. And then they came out, and I bought some. I had them on order since before they were available. So when they finally came out, mine shipped. I put them on both the LPVOs I have here. And I was like, man, if that would fit on the battery compartment for the Prism, I'd get it. So I'm looking all over the fucking internet for will it work? And it doesn't say yes, it doesn't say no. And I'm like, I look at my son's gun, I'm like, it's like the right size. And I was like, I guess I'm going to have to disassemble them from my LPVOs and try it. So right before I got to doing that, I looked one other place, like the manufacturer's website. And this time I actually read the description of the Prism and listed, like, the third bullet point says built-in auto live feature. And I was like, wait, this has auto live? So I literally turn it off, turn it back on, or no, maybe I just turned it on. I set it down on my fucking bar between my kitchen and my dining room, walked away, looked back through it, was like, okay, it turned off. Like the off function, it auto offs. We'll see if it auto ons. Touched a gun, moved a little bit, it auto back on. I was like, I've been jonesing for this to have auto live for months, and it already had it. So then I literally just walked upstairs and bought another one for Celine, and used it over the weekend. At FAFO, fuck around and find out. Team reaction to contact. Pre-electus training. Jay Gibson, greatest trainer on the planet. And I handed the gun out to a bunch of people because we were doing some. I was the executive that was being protected in the class, and the body man on me was armed with a pistol. So we ended up with a lot of swapped rifles because the guy that was just the body man now needed a gun, and his gun was back in the car, and somebody else needed to have just a pistol. So some rifles got swapped around, and we had a rifle or two go down, and so I handed my rifle off as, yeah, like put some ammo through it, like it needs a workout. So a couple other guys used it. They also really like the Prism sight. So one of them bought one later in the week and just got online and ordered it. And he wanted to run a magnifier because he likes that because he's weird. But he ordered the primary arms magnifier and with a flip to side mount for that. And anyhow, like it was popular. So that's where we are on the Prisms. I do not like the form factor of the MD25 red dot. I think that's the one I don't like. It's got like big chunky knobs on it, and like turret caps and like caps. That's why I like the MRO. Like there's just no caps. I just stick the rim of an empty case in there and click, 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 and I'm good. And this one's the same way. And my astigmatism, like that reticle is better. So. RJ says, do you prefer the full-size True North over the K? And if so, why? Yes. As a matter of fact, I think the full size is about a 1/4 inch too short. And it's just the way I like to hold the rifle. My pinky mostly hangs off of the full-size grip stop. The irregular defense thing is a little bit longer, so that's perfect. But the shape of the front is wrong. And if you grind it to the shape that I like, it goes all the way through into the open center. So I had to fill the center part way with epoxy and then grind the front. But increased length of the regular grip stop is something I'm looking for. And I have been looking for that since it was made by B5, or even the Lancoans, the oldest generation there were. I just wish they were about that much longer. The only area I really like the K is I have a K on my AK. And it's just because I do knuckles to foregrip when I'm lining up the magazine. So it gives me more room to get the angle I want without hitting the grip stop. So it's just a compromise on my AK. All right. So I have one more question on the Facebooks where people had asked, and tips for getting the most out of using your Mantis for rifle and for pistol. So if we're talking the X10 unit, you can do some of the trigger work, and it does do a good job of making you isolate the trigger press from the rest of holding the gun. However, that's where it peters out on a rifle. On a pistol, it is great mounting it on the magazine, and because it will track your draw stroke, and you'll get to see if you're doing any like weird stuff when you're getting the gun from your holster to aimed in. So I like doing that because it'll help you refine your draw stroke, because you'll get a better look at what it was doing from this position to this position. As far as the Blackbeard, there is no pistol version, so that one's only used on rifle, and that one I use the fuck out of because I just have a sim gun set up here. It's just a bunch of spare parts put together to build an AR, and I use it in the house. I'll be in my office, which is on the second floor, and I'll have to let the dog out down on the first floor. So I'll clear the house with the Blackbeard, and anything hanging on the wall will be a target. So I'll laze each one of those on the way down. I'll let Klaus out, and then I'll laze everything on my way back to the office, and vice versa. So it gets me a bunch of manipulating the rifle inside a small structure a couple times a day, like 10 or 15 times a day. Obviously, in fish, we use the Blackbeards We don't really use the X10s because we don't have time to sift through the data. We did have one guy bring a Blackbeard X. Oh, no. He just had, I don't remember if he had an X or he had an X10 on the gun, and he was going to collect the data on his phone while we did Fish 3. Fish 3 is night fishing, so it's all in the dark. And it made it very difficult for him to be in the dark with a glowing blue light, letting everyone know that the X10 was working. So that didn't work out the way he wanted. But yeah, for the pistol, it is the draw stroke I find the most advantageous on the X unit. And then on the rifle, I don't find the X unit to be the best thing, but I do like clearing everything with the laser. Also, Manus has new stuff coming. Expect announcements at SHOT Show. Like, I think they have multiple product lines to announce, and I know some of those lines have multiple products in them. Any pistol fish segments? Well, since the UTM has gotten more difficult to acquire, which means we'd have to run lasers, I do not intend to, at this time, buy a bunch of CERT pistols, which is what we would need to run lasers with pistols. I would not use like the Strikeman or Pink Rhino laser cartridges because you have to rack it by hand after every trigger press. So currently, the only thing on the market to get is made by CERT or NLT, Next Level Training. I have a CERT M&P over here, and I've used the CERT Glocks, and they work fine. They're not the cheapest thing for me to get a pile of them for you all to use, and nor are they the cheapest for you all to get them. They don't come in a bunch of different models. It's a 17, 19, and they have them with finger grooves and without, like 3rd and 5th gen. The M&P 1.0 full size, the 320 compact, and then they have a pocket pistol, which is not a shield and not a Glock 43 and not a 365. It's just kind of it's near all of them, and it doesn't fit any of those holsters. So I guess there's some Springfield holster that it fits, but so the limited models, the expense means I'm not going to invest in them unless somebody comes out with a new product that would work better, in which case then we will do pistol stuff with fish. We're more likely to do fish live fire than we are pistol with lasers. Although if we can get some laser units and we can still acquire some UTM ammo, it still means we can do like the final exercises from each day with UTM, because I do still have a pile of UTM Block 19s and an M&P. Actually, I just got something for those UTM guns I'll talk about next week's live chat. Andrew, hello, sir. I was talking about you earlier on a couple different no, I guess just one. I didn't talk about training. It was on my list. I just haven't got to it. I did talk about gear. Max, hello, sir. We can do airsoft pistol stuff because I do have 10 Glock 17s that are airsoft that we use in gunfight diagnostics. The problem is they're not ideal tools because they're so fragile, and gas powered is not as reliable as gunpowder fire, like a UTM or even laser stuff. So they're okay, but they get broke a lot. And so there's always a possibility with them. Hopefully that answered your question. Oh, shit. I only got like 5 minutes. And then it's going to be all over. Or 6 minutes, depending on what my phone says. Since Andrew popped in, and we were talking about Jay earlier, Andrew is going to be up here in July doing patrolling the homestead. And we're going to go over to Centralia for that, which reminds me, Andrew, I got to get you some topo maps and coordinates and that kind of shit. I'll try to get that done before the end of this week. There is a link. Copy. Paste. Enter. So that's coming up. That'll be awesome. It's right before like the weekend prior to the muster. And looking forward to doing that. That inspired me a little bit for a new class that I'm putting together in my head that'll involve a little bit of some patrolling stuff. There'll be some patrolling stuff in the small unit immersion class that I'm doing in Texas, but I got another idea for a class that's even more full immersion than the full immersion class. Yeah, I know you're like, wow, fuck. That's all I'm putting out right now. This is the teaser. Don't know when it's going to happen. I have a little gap in the calendar. It may happen then. I just have to make sure I have the right facility to run it in. It'll be like a 3-day weekend, and it's going to be pretty fucking cool. Yes, Max, you will definitely enjoy the location that we're doing the class in. As a matter of fact, if you'd like to see the location beforehand and get a better feel for the lay of the land, you come to the NAV class that we're doing because it'll be over there, and you'll actually have already like topographic mapped your way around before the patrolling class. You won't have GPS because that's going to be on day 3, and that's in August, so it's after the patrolling class. But maybe we'll do a study group over there too after the nav class, so people have a chance to do get some more reps running a map and compass over there in Centralia. We're gonna do more stuff in Centralia anyhow because it's fun. Well, there you heard it. Andrew told you to do it. All right, so I got that. I guess it really covers everything I wanted to cover. Sometime in the next couple of days, we're going to have some Z-Bolt stuff on the website. I don't really have anything left from our first opening order. Thousands of dollars, like multiple thousands of dollars of stuff is ordered, and it's all gone except for one tail cap. But we will have the ability to order anything that you want, and I'm going to get one of a couple things to just keep here. So if somebody buys one, I can sell it and then backfill that with an order. So that'll be coming up soon. And I think Saturday is when all the map tools will get here. So I'll have to package those up. Like they're just coming in bulk packaging. So I got to take it all apart and put it together in some kits. And we'll put those up on the website probably on Monday. So we got that going. And that's really all I got. I answered all the questions. It's been an hour. I managed to get an hour without having a guest. Holy shit. And we'll do another one of these. What is next Wednesday? Like that's not Thanksgiving's Thursday. Is it the day before Thanksgiving? Yeah, it is. So we'll do one next weekend. Next week, next Wednesday. The Wednesday after that, we probably won't because I'm going to be somewhere between here and Paducah, Texas. So that'll be that. And I'm not sure we'll do one the week after because I'll be somewhere between Paducah and home. Although, depending when I leave to there, I might be home in time to get it. Or I might be somewhere where I can have a special guest. I got an idea for that too, and I might not get home until Thursday. So either way, we'll figure that out as we go, and I will see. Well, what am I doing this weekend? If you're talking to me and not to Max like you were a moment ago, I'm doing a big fucking pile of nothing. I think. Maybe. I don't have anything on my calendar. So I haven't made any promises that I obviously cared enough to write down. So either way, if you need, come to the night ups. Dude, it's super expensive, super not close to home. And by the time I heard about it, I was kind of already spent my wad on stuff like travel for the year and money for training classes. Weird for a guy that said, I'm not doing any live fire training. I've taken like fucking 8 classes this year. So I'm kind of petered out. And although assuming it's going to be sometime in this neighborhood next year, I don't have anything in November planned because I'm keeping it open for maybe that to happen. All right. So with that, I'm going to pop smoke, call for a hot exfil or whatever. And I will see all of you next Wednesday. So take it easy and be cool or something. I got to come up with a new catchphrase, I guess, tagline or something like that. If you don't know why, you should watch the Berm Limits podcast over on bulletin.net's YouTube channel, or probably wherever else you get podcasts from. Like, I don't even know. But if you listen to it, towards the end, we talk about my tagline and why I might need a new one. All right. So there we go. Take it easy.